Hey, what's going on? Derek Stupski here from Stupski Fitness. One of the most commonly used phrases is lift with your legs and not your back, especially when we're moving those heavier or bulkier items. So many people relay this message back and forth to one another, but unfortunately really don't know how to put their bodies in the proper position or how to fire the muscles needed to actually lift with their legs and avoid hurting their back. This video is going to explain how we get ourselves in the proper position so you can save your back and move those items more carefully. So when you hear somebody say, use your legs and not your back, there is one exercise in particular that I really like to try to help develop this movement pattern with every individual that we work with. And that is using the hex bar and performing a deadlift, which is a bend pattern. So we're going to go over the proper mechanics of a hex bar deadlift and how you can apply this to make sure that your bend pattern becomes more efficient and you can learn how to utilize the muscles necessary to lift with your legs and not your back. So when we try to compare and contrast the hex bar deadlift compared to your traditional straight bar deadlift, you're going to notice that the hex bar deadlift actually has a little bit more of a squat variation to it than a traditional deadlift would with a straight bar in front of you. So when we go to talk about getting yourself properly set up to lift with your legs and not your back, using the hex bar is just like if you were going to move a couch or something similar to that. So what we're going to want to do is, first thing is getting your hips back. And when we move our hips backward, it's going to start to put ourselves in the right position. So you can see my back is fairly flat. I'm protecting my spine. And I'm feeling a stretch through my glutes and my hamstrings right now, which means that they are ready to be activated to use when we perform this lift. So we get set up, hips are back, my chest is slightly up. I am not curved all the way up because we are bending over. So chest is over the knees. And we talk about keeping our shins vertical, which means that from knee to ankle, they are close to being straight up and down. We're not leaning forward so the knees come past the toes. So hips go back, shins straight up and down, chest over the knees, and you can see my back automatically gets into a flat position, not a rounded over position, which a lot of people tend to lift from. So now that we understand how to put ourselves in the proper position by getting our hips back, chest over the knees, shins are vertical, now we can feel that stretch in our hamstrings and our glutes. Weight is distributed to the middle, to the back side of our foot, towards our heel, not on the balls of our feet. When we get in this position, just like if we were going to move a sofa, we're going to grab what we can hold on to, and we're going to push through our heels. And when we push our heels into the ground, what we're going to do is activate our glutes and hamstrings. We're going to be able to drive up, and my back is going to stay flat all the way through. And that is going to allow me to lift the item, in this case the hex bar, up into the proper position, and I didn't use my back one bit. When we go to set the item back down, we have to be sure to follow the same pattern. Hips go back, chest over the knees, weight on the heels, set it down, and we lift up. So now that you've seen what it's like to put yourself in the right mechanical advantage to lift with your legs and not your back, be sure to follow these cues next time you go to move that heavier or bulkier item. And as always, if something feels too heavy, it probably is. Listen to your body. Moving something that might be heavier or bulky is not worth the injury risk. So listen to your body, and if you feel like you can lift it, be sure to follow those cues that we just talked about to make sure that you do lift with your legs and not your back.